As you may have seen, I parted this video into two pieces. The reason is pretty simple. It would be simply too long. It would be around about 45 or even longer minutes. And so I decided, let's divide it into two pieces. Part number one of this video is here. There is the link to it. And otherwise, if you have seen this video already, then continue directly with this video. In this video, we concentrate on baking the pizza, and then the first part of the video was creating the dough. But now let's start with creating our pizza. The first is we have to prepare our ingredients. Of course, I have here fior di latte. I said already everything regarding cheese. I have here also fresh basil. I need nothing to say regarding fresh basil. I have here fresh grated Parmesan cheese. You can also use grana padano instead of Parmesan. And of course I have here some olive oil. I have already preheated my kitchen oven. Preheat your kitchen oven always to the highest temperature. In my case, my kitchen oven is able to make 300 degrees, so I preheated it to 300 degrees. Use always the upper and the lower, so the both-sided heat, no ventilation. If you have maybe a pizza stone, then also preheat your pizza stone and place the pizza stone in the upper part of your oven. If you have a pizza steel, which might be even better than a pizza stone, then use the pizza steel and also preheat the pizza steel. If you have no stone and no steel, then you can also use a normal baking tray upside down and use this as pizza steel. But for using all these things, you need definitely a pizza peel. Pizza peels are different versions available. This is one made from aluminum, or there are also wooden peels available. But these kind of peels are not that ideal. They will work, of course, but with those pizza peel, there is always that you bring with this peel semolina. In semolina, we will stretch our pizza. We will always bring some semolina onto the pizza stone or onto the pizza steel, which means this semolina will burn on the stone or on the steel, and afterwards it will taste bitter. So you would have to remove always the burned semolina from the stone after each pizza, even otherwise it would be bitter. The better choice would be such a peel with holes. Because if you use a peel with holes, then all the semolina, which is too much, can fall through those peels onto your counter, and you don't have the problem that you have too much semolina on your stone. Now something to the tomatoes. I have here, you can see the tomatoes already prepared. Preparing a tomato sauce is pretty simple for a Neapolitan pizza. Normally, you use only 1 can of tomatoes, so 400 grams, and 4 grams of fine sea salt. Mix everything up and it's done. You need to be a bit careful regarding the tomatoes, because there are tomatoes on the market available which has as ingredient also citron acid, which means these tomatoes were peeled not with hot water, like it is with the better tomatoes. They are really peeled by hot water and then put directly into the can. No, these with the citron acid in it, they are peeled with ley. And to make ley neutral, you need some acid, and this is then the citron acid they put into these tomatoes, and this might be a bit sour. If you want to know far more about the tomatoes, about the tomato sauce and so on, you please have a look in the video description. There is the link to my video. However, it is possible to put into your, I have San Marzanos tomatoes, by the way, and the San Marzanos tomatoes are whole tomatoes in the can, and you have to tear those tomatoes by hand. If you would use a mixer, then you would destroy all this seed which is inside of the tomato, and then there would be also produced a bitter taste. Therefore, you should use your hands if these are whole tomatoes. You can produce your pizza sauce however you want. I read very often that people put some oregano or pepper or garlic or whatever into their tomato sauce. They are cooking it on the oven for a very long time. For me, it is not required. For me, I want to taste only the tomatoes on my pizza, but of course everybody could do however everybody wants. And now I would say we start directly with the pizza. And these are now the 3 pizza balls, and you see how fantastic they look like, how perfectly they rose. So I would say there is really nothing to complain. Now to take them out, there are a few things which we definitely have to take care about, because as soon we would now stress the dough, it would not be possible to stretch these pizza anymore properly. Therefore, we really need to be careful. Which means we take some semolina, put it on top of this pizza ball we want to take out, and really everywhere where this pizza ball is attached to another pizza ball or where it is connected to the side of the box. Then we use the spatula or anything like this, and we release the dough so that it's not sticking anymore to anything else. However, we really have to be careful, also careful to all the other pieces. Then we use again the spatula and we bring some semolina under the dough ball so that really the dough ball sticks nowhere. And then we take it out and put it into the bowl of semolina. Now it's important to close again the lid, because we want to protect also the other dough balls from drying out. And now we flip this dough ball several times around in the semolina, and then we put it out onto our counter. If the piece of dough is actually not round, then we can bring it back to a round shape, very gentle, and if we see, oh, it's sticking somewhere, use directly semolina and make that it stops sticking. And now it's time to shape our pizza. All the air which is actually inside of the dough we want to keep in our dough, which means we press now from the center all the air towards the crust, and we leave around 1 to 1.5 to 2 centimeters of crust over. We don't press the crust. Then we flip this pie around and we do exactly the same from the other side. We press all the air into the crust. If we see these thick bubbles, we can directly open them, because they would definitely burn in the oven. Then we flip it again and we press again the dough and the air into the crust. And here we directly can shape a nice crust. For now we don't shape the pizza to its final size. This will be done later on the peel. Otherwise it would be too dangerous that we damage the pizza when launching onto the peel. And if this is roughly done, you also could take the pizza dough over your hands and stretch it here also a little bit. Normally the dough is that elastic that it doesn't matter. Normally the dough won't break. Then you have it on one hand and you remove all the semolina from your counter. Not all, but most of the semolina. And then put it back onto your counter. Then the first we add right now is our tomato sauce. And as soon we have our tomato sauce on the pie, it's required that we work quickly, because otherwise the tomato sauce would weaken up our dough and then it might stick. We have to do in the normal kitchen oven a pre-baking of the dough together with the tomato sauce. This is required that all the rest of the ingredients is not burning. In a normal pizza oven it's not necessary. In a normal pizza oven we would put everything onto the pie and bake it in once. But for now we add now the tomato sauce, and then we put the tomato sauce everywhere. We don't put tomato sauce onto the crust. And now it's time to launch the pizza into the oven. Therefore we put some semolina onto the peel. We lift the dough and we push the peel under. And now, as I said, it's time to shape again, if the pizza is not round, a round form, and we stretch the pizza to its final size. In my case it's 33 centimeters, because my pizza peel has 33 centimeters, and I stretch it so that it is really the size of my pizza peel. Here we have to be careful that we don't make holes into the dough, but normally it's elastic enough, and we don't press the crust. And now it's time to launch it into the oven. And it stays now in the oven until the crust starts getting colored. And as soon the crust started to getting colored, we remove the pizza out of the oven and we add all the rest of the ingredients for a pizza margherita. So at first the fresh grated Parmesan cheese, then as next some fresh leaves of basil, the next we add is our fior di latte or mozzarella cheese. And here I have to say, on a Neapolitan pizza is less definitely more, so you don't overwhelm the pizza with ingredients, with toppings, otherwise the taste will not that be nice. You do not taste all the different ingredients, you taste only one thing, and this is not that what we want on a Neapolitan pizza. However, if you want, you can add as much toppings as you want. This is only my recommendation. Then some olive oil, and now the pizza comes back onto the oven until the crust is really nice colored and the cheese is melted. And here comes now our pizza out of the oven. And finally we have to put some fresh basil onto our pizza. And honestly speaking, would you think this nice pizza comes out of a normal kitchen oven? I'm pretty sure no. And if you show this pizza to everyone you want, nobody would think this is a pizza out of a normal conventional kitchen oven. But now, of course, let me cut into the pizza. It's super crispy. And I hope you can see it's really full of air pockets, exactly how we want our pizza. And now, of course, I have the pleasure to taste this nice pizza. At first I tasted now the center, and the center tastes absolutely great. But of course I have also to taste the crust, because especially in the crust there is the taste of the dough. And also this one is absolutely amazing. And what do you think? Is it really that difficult to bake this fantastic kind of pizza? I'm pretty sure everybody of you is also able to do it. Of course, there are a few rules which you have to follow, but if you follow these rules, you will be able to bake this fantastic pizza. Of course, from a taste perspective, there are a few differences to a normal pizza oven, because the temperature is simply lower, and especially this high temperature produces again some additional taste. But however, you saw the picture, you saw the pizza, it is amazing, it is fantastic, and I'm pretty sure everybody of you is able to do it as well. If you like my video, it would be fantastic if you would subscribe my channel, and then we see us also in the next video. Ciao!